Hi, and welcome to Two Ordinary Nerds, a podcast where two ordinary nerds talk about beer. How you doing today, Daniel?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm enjoying my beer right now. It's
Schlafly.
Schlafly. It's St. Louis beer. Having the Christmas ale. It's all right. It's not one of my favorites, but I can enjoy one or two of these. What are you drinking?
I am drinking a New Belgium Accumulation IPA. It's pretty good. It's a winter IPA.
Is it a flat tire?
No.
Oh.
The Flat Tire is a beer that they make.
The
New Belgium makes it, but it's not bad.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
What would you recommend it? 5 beers, 3
I'd
beers?
give it a 3.5. I wouldn't say it's like the best one I've ever had, but it's definitely not bad.
I'll say mine was again 2. I'll say 2 beers. It's not bad.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna talk about?
We're gonna talk a little bit about God, I feel like there was like this really good finale we just watched.
About what?
I can't think about it.
Oh, maybe we can think about it later. I know Vikings mid-season premiered.
Viking mid-season premiere. Oh, Westworld was.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe talk about a little bit of Walking Dead, maybe.
Maybe brush
We'll
it.
see. And then, I'll share a little bit about what I thought about Fantastic Beast. Fantastic.
Oh. So, well, let's get to it.
Yeah, these violent delights bring violent
And
ends.
ooh, that's very nice. All right.
All right, so I guess we'll just start with the best of the best.
No, let's start with Vikings.
Vikings?
I was disappointed. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It's not a bad episode. It's just nothing exciting happened. It
I-
didn't intrigue me at all.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I guess we got to get to know Ragnar's kids more. I do like the cripple kid, the kid that doesn't have working legs. He was awesome. I mean,
He was pretty strong.
he's a
good.
badass. He makes up for even being handicapped. He still is like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this tie me down. I'm gonna be a badass.
I guess it's there was some weird parts like when he was walking on the forest, and
Like when
looking at his brothers have sex and the girl.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they were trying to explain something, but I didn't understand why the slave girl was having sex with both the brothers.
She was a slave girl, so she had to have sex with whoever.
Did she? Do you think so, or was it more like she is trying to play like a game? Because I didn't understand.
I don't think she was just trying to play a game. I think she was just she doesn't really have a choice.
So they were raping her.
Yeah, basically. But I think she does have a thing for the brothers, kind of. I don't know.
That's what I think. It was something weird. It was like I don't know if they were raping her because they were forcing her because she's a slave, or
and then is the brother who doesn't have non-functioning legs? Does he?
has no function.
Is he? Does he have no functioning wanker, or is he just gay? I mean,
I think he has no wanker, no functioning wanker. I think he's is it incompetent? He couldn't keep it.
Okay.
Or couldn't get it out. And the old-fashioned way. And the girl said, "Well, it doesn't make you less of a man.
Yeah.
You're the son of Ragnar. You're meant to be great."
Yeah, I thought it was really weird, like when Ragnar tried to kill himself, and then he was like telling Floki, "Okay, bye. This is the last time we'll see you." And then he goes and tries to kill himself. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's like
just fix your shit, dude. You're the king.
For me, it was more or less like it didn't excite me. It was one of those episodes that I could see it be like a 4 or a 5 episode.
Yeah.
Like, I think they could have maybe ended with Ragnar trying to suicide himself. Like, yes, hanging, and then you're like, oh my god, some excitement. There was like no excitement, and then they didn't mention my favorite candy bar, that's Rolo.
A candy bar.
I'm not sure. Is it a candy bar or is it
It's just candy. They're not a candy bar.
But that's my favorite.
Brought to you by the candy bar Rolo.
Well, thanks, Rolo.
I thought you were saying like, oh, he's my candy bar. Like, wow. That's interesting.
No.
Is that how you say that in Spain? Like you're attracted to someone? Like,
yeah, he's my candy bar.
He's my candy bar.
But he's still, he is very good looking, dude. But yeah,
Lagatha's.
Yeah, Lagatha is just gorgeous.
She is definitely gorgeous.
And she's having enough. She has a girlfriend now, it seems.
Yeah.
For 1 second, I thought it was like a daughter or something, and then I realized they were making out. And I was like, oh, maybe not.
I just feel like this. I think now, after this season, I think because they are filming the next season, I think it's just done after next season. Maybe it'll drag on and it'll be a show that just keeps going and going.
Yeah, I can see next season.
I think
unless Ragnar dies in this season, and spoiler alert, if you don't know that, if you haven't know about history, but it's not really a spoiler if it's history. It's like saying like Queen Elizabeth the First died.
Yeah,
he dies, and he dies in a major and very poetic way. Some people may say it's fake. Some people say it's true. But
there's no historical account.
But I mean, there is historical records of how he supposedly died.
Yeah.
So then, if I'm not mistaken, Ragnar should die in this season, and the kids, his sons, should go next season and wreak havoc in England, because that's the history says that Ragnar went to England. The king basically throws him in a pit of snakes and he dies, and then the news goes to his sons and they destroy fucking England. They just go on the biggest rampage ever. So they don't go on, they're not like in the previous seasons for gold. They just go to fuck and destroy.
Oh, everything. That's even worse.
So they just go from the north and they just go destroy. Then they go up a little bit, they go all the way to the south and then up again, destroy, and then they get out and they'll come back.
Wow.
So that's why I think, this finale is gonna be Ragnar dying, and I think their brothers or his sons are gonna come back and fucking in next season and yes, be like
annihilate.
That's what I think it's gonna go to if they're trying to go with more historically correct, because I think that's the tale of Ragnar. Like he dies and then his sons just go on Ragnar.
Yeah, I would. What would you rate the episode?
I ain't gonna give him.
I'd give it 2.5.
I'll give him a 2. I mean, it's not. I'd recommend watching the show.
It wasn't bad, but it definitely was like for having to wait so fucking long.
Yeah, that's the problem. It wasn't a bad episode,
and it's not even like a new season. It's the same freaking season that we've been on.
Yeah, it's not a new show. It's not a bad show. I'll recommend it. If I will go with 3 close to 4 years. As a show, it's just we're rating as a mid-premiere episode.
Yeah.
So it didn't give you anything new. It didn't give you anything to be excited about. The only thing I was excited about was the trailer afterwards.
Yeah.
That looked pretty cool. But after that, the episode itself, it was meh.
So yeah, that's our take on Vikings returning. We're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about. Just touch on Walking Dead. What'd you think about this? We've been waiting for this episode for a while because it's pretty famous in the comics for Carl jumping out and whooping some ass and then getting made fun of, which was great.
The thing I enjoyed the most was Negan with Judith. Is Judith the baby?
Yeah.
That was because that's not in the comics, and I was like
something new,
and I just can't wait until the next episode. I knew it was gonna happen, so I wasn't. It's kind of like and hate knowing it's going to happen just because I was like, oh, I want to see how he looks, how Carl looks.
Mm-hmm.
But if I remember seeing...
His eye was awesome.
Yeah, seeing my wife looking at it, it's like, oh my God. And it's like, oh, and then saying like, and all the excitement was only with seeing it, what's going to do with Judy.
I will say that this episode brought back the way it should be. There was more continuity in this episode versus... I'm on a paddle boat with no paddles. I'm just sitting there like the last episode. I just feel more episodes should be structured like this episode, where they have a bunch of different stories into one, kind of like Thrones, because the story flows better instead of having one episode that takes forever to get through.
And they finally put a little notice, I think, in Rick's hatchet. I mean, always feel like it's been overlooked against with his gun. Like now he finally has his hatchet. A lot of people don't realize that hatchet is Rick.
Yeah.
Like in the comics, that's Negan's bat. That's Rick's hatchet. And I think even more than the gun.
Yeah.
Like Rick's hatchet is more of a symbol than his. What is it? Is it
No, I would still say his. For the show.
The 50 Magnum. In the comics, I'm saying. Isn't the hatchet more iconic than the pistol?
I think in the comic they're both the same. He uses them equally versus in the show he uses his Magnum more.
But in the I guess that is true.
Now he doesn't have a choice because he doesn't have his gun. But I think, well, I wonder, first off, did he hide his gun? He
did not hide it. I don't think he was too broken to hide it.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that because he is pretty broken.
I'm thinking that the show is gonna go with Judith. I think Negan is gonna do something. Was gonna take Judith, and that's gonna force Rick to intervene.
I think Rick's gonna. I don't know. I think this episode. I think this is when we're gonna see Rick start to get his balls back. Like at the end of this episode.
You saw the trailer, like him bawling.
Yeah, I saw him crying. But if you pause the trailer, Negan's all covered in blood, and he wasn't covered in blood before. So I wonder who he's gonna.
I know who's gonna kill.
I think I know who he's gonna kill, but
he's gonna kill an asshole who thinks he's entitlement for. That's what I think he's gonna kill. I know he's gonna kill him.
Bye, Spencer.
Yeah,
I think that.
Can't stand it. He does a good job of being a fucking prick.
Oh yeah, he does. But he's definitely gonna be. He's gonna get killed like Porch Dick.
Like there's few characters that, Joffrey was one of them, and then there's the other Bolton. Ramsey was another actor that he did pretty well. The government didn't do a good job as being like, oh my god, I hate him.
No.
Negan's a perfect anti-hero, so you don't really, you root for him, but you kind of dislike that you root for him. But this prick, you're like, oh, I can't wait until somebody fucking punches you or takes you out.
Joe was one where a lot of people hated. The Terminus guy was one, definitely, that I wanted to die.
The Terminus?
Yeah, the one where Rick killed with the machete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's a few, but it's kind of hard to portray that so well, being a prick.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of actors that are pricks that you don't even notice. But I liked it.
I'd give it a 4.
But that's one of the episodes that excite you. Like, I can't wait until next episode because what he's gonna do with him. What's this gonna happen?
What's he gonna do with the baby?
I'll do another 4 for this episode.
We finally get more of the kingdom in this episode.
Do you think Carl's gonna wrap his eye now, or he's gonna keep it in the open? Maybe I think that's why he has the hair so long.
Was Carl's eye wrapped yet?
He's no longer wrapped anymore.
Oh, okay. No.
But, do you think? I think
he'll rewrap it after Negan leaves.
Does he have it in the comics wrap or open after Negan?
After Negan, once he meets Alpha's daughter, he leaves it unwrapped because she thinks it's hot, so he leaves it unwrapped. Makes him look more of a badass. But he gets like an actual patch, not a bandage. He actually just gets an eye patch that he wears, and then they take that off, and then he wears just.
Yeah, it was a good episode. I think what's the actor for Carl?
Oh yeah,
he did a good job. I think the only hiccup in my head, I think it was that crying scene. He did okay job. I didn't think he did. I'm not sure if it almost seemed like he was scared more than humiliated. I don't think he. Do you think it was meant to break him, or it wasn't meant to be more humiliated?
Break him.
You think that he broke him with that? Because that didn't seem that
he didn't break him, but I think he just hit a button with that kind of really devastated him.
This shows him that he's a teenager, and
I think it just shows that Carl's he's just had a really shitty fucking life, man. Yeah. He had to kill his fucking mom.
In zombie mode.
His mom wasn't in zombie mode yet. They had the baby, and he shot her right after they had Judith.
But because he was going to become a zombie.
She was going to become one, but she was still alive. But then he got shot by Otis in the gut, and then he got shot in the face.
Yeah, I heard that he might be like the actor's dad was mentioning something. You heard anything about it?
Yeah, he actually talked about it this week. He said that it's all based off the college he's going to go to. He thinks that he's going to be able to make it work to where he can have, balanced college, because he's like, I just want to still have a normal life also outside of the show. Like, I don't want to I want to be normal.
He just want to be an actor?
Yeah, he wants to still be able to go do stuff that normal kids do, so he's gonna...
I understand that. It's, he's been there for what, 5-6 years?
The whole season.
How many years is it?
We're on the 7th season.
Since you've been there for basically 80 years, because give him 1 year of recording the first episode, the first season. I understand it. I don't think it's a bad idea to go to college.
Oh no.
So, we kind of
go to school, kids.
I'll be kind of butthurt if he leaves and they have to kill him.
I don't think that they would do that. I think they would just change actors, which I don't know how they would do that, but that's what
I don't think that. I think they will maybe say, hey, just record and you'll leave with somebody like in an adventure, and if you can come back, you come back. If you don't come back.
I just don't know how. I just don't know what they would do because they can't kill him off because of the story. It just wouldn't make sense.
But if he doesn't come back, it doesn't make sense either to change. Do you think it would make more sense to change actors?
It's not a big deal. They do it all the time with James Bond.
Yeah, it's not a James Bond movie that comes out. It's a show. It always does it. When you change actors in shows, it's not the same feeling.
It's probably wouldn't be the same feeling, but they did it with Spartacus. They did.
But Spartacus, the guy died, or he had cancer, or what happened to him?
He had leukemia.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like it would make more sense.
He said that he can probably make it work.
That's good. I mean, it kind of sucks. Like, you don't know if you're making a commitment for 1 year or like 10, or because now, if you leave to go to college, all people are gonna think like they're gonna be butthurt about it. It's like that kid was like 11 when he made this commitment. I'm pretty sure his parents.
I don't know if they would actually. I think if he were to leave, he would have. I don't know. Obviously, he'd probably just choose a different profession to go into, but he would have trouble finding jobs in that field.
You think so? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I think it's understandable. Say, hey, I want to have a college fucking degree. Like, I don't know, 2 years from now, nobody hires me. You can be the kid from The Sixth Sense.
Haley Joel Osment that's not in anything anymore.
Well, exactly. Or the kid from Home Alone. Or there's a whole bunch of kids out there.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, they were huge stars, and then and they drugs and all this shit, and then they there's nothing wrong with doing drugs, but they just mess up their careers.
Some drugs are not okay to do.
Well, yeah,
heroin,
crystal meth,
bath salts.
I like some bath salts the rest of my time. When I want to relax.
Yeah,
but I put them in the bath. But yeah, I think it's. I mean, if I was a director and he left for college, I think it's a good fucking reason to rehire him. He's a smart kid.
Yeah.
More than he got quit because he was.
But I think the likeliness of that happening, they're gonna make it to where he's like, all right, I'm gonna stay.
Yeah,
because he's a key character.
He's gonna offer a shit ton of money. I think he's the future of the series. At least in the comics.
I think it's actually the whole time people think it's Rick's story, but I think it's Carl's.
Carl.
So yeah, I'd give the episode a 4.
Same. 4.
All right, let's get to the goods.
What's the goods after this? Oh, the Westworld?
Yeah.
Overall, like, what a great fucking show.
Yeah. First off, I'm gonna give that season a 9.5. Maybe 10. Such a good.
I'll give it a 9. A good 9.
It was such a good show. Every episode, you're just like, what? No fucking way. There's just so many turns that you're like, oh my god. Well, first off, we were right about the black, the guy in black.
The guy in black. And how I told you the man in black's gonna see Dolores and with her memory erased, and he's gonna be like, oh, this is boring.
Yeah.
Then he's gonna become the man in black. I knew it. I was so shocked about that. It's one of those shows that it took 7 or 8 episodes to figure out what the fuck the show was about.
Yep. Was it about the park? Is it about the androids?
You thought it was gonna be the girl, the
Maeve.
Maeve. You remember? I thought, but then it seemed like she was just part of the plan of the grand plan.
Yep.
So her story that was not really a story. It was just like your head get blown and like everything was designed by Anthony Hopkins.
She said that she's like, oh no, I'm not in control, or no one's controlling me, but I still think something's controlling her because she got off the train. If she was not being
I think everything was controlling her, but he at the end when he basically.
You're talking about Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins was controlling her, but then at that moment, her, Dolores, the other guy, the black guy,
the guy who played Arnold. Basically.
Arnold's robot and the good cowboy all become free.
Yeah.
All those 4 players, and that's when she's
like the original.
That's when she's like, that was her decision to make, to stay in the train and leave or go and get her daughter. Dolores was to kill him or not to kill him.
I didn't think about that because if they're free, then maybe the daughter's free. And
the good cop was to stop Dolores or not stop Dolores. And then I think it's they have that now they're free and now everybody's fucking coming.
I love Ed Harris's face when he gets shot in the shoulder. He's like, yes, they're finally attacking again.
Yeah, it's such a good episode. The only negative thing that I see in that episode was there's something called reloading, and I don't think the HBO they understand it because they were like, shooting. They never reloaded a single fucking time in that fucking show.
They don't. I wonder if
Dolores was shooting like it was like a 12 magazine pistol. And I was like, you need to reload. I guess.
Well, even with the machine guns, when they're running through the actual part where they work on the androids, he's just like...
Yeah, they didn't reload a single fucking time.
He loaded it. He did do that. I'll give him that.
One roll, and then it's like, infinity bullets.
The blonde girl, she cracked me up when she got the gun, because she shot it. She's like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, because it's automatic. This is the first time she sees it. Okay, but I think when she gets her arm card, she's like... I was like, you need to reload.
Sucks that the show's not coming back till 2018.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let them. This fifth season took how long? It took like 2 or 3 years to make.
Yeah. So take your time. That's why Sherlock's so good, is because it doesn't come out every year. It takes so long to make, but that's why it's such a good fucking show.
I can't wait to buy the Blu-rays and rewatch it.
I'm just gonna rewatch it. I'm gonna rewatch it over my week.
But I mean, it's a show that I think I want to support, so I'll buy the DVDs.
Yeah, I can see that.
I have it all saved in my DVR, and that's how you watch it, of course. And it's one of those shows like I don't buy every DVDs, but if I see something that I like, I want to support it.
That's why I buy every Walking Dead season and every Game of Thrones season.
Yeah, because there are shows that if it's a good show, we say, hey, it's a fucking 9 stars and we had a good job. The only way to show HBO to continue making good shows and not go to fucking Teen Mom 4 is showing that I'm willing to spend my money in these shows.
God, HBO is so awesome, man.
It's such a good... I mean, it's teaching anybody, like, you don't, if you invest money... people will support it.
I really want I want them to delve into, because in the folklore of the show, like even in the old movie, because in the old movie they talk about it, but there is other parks. It's not just
they
Westworld.
Showed it with
the samurai. I'm like, oh my god, that'd be so cool if they go into different parks, like not just this one. They go into the samurai one. They go into the medieval one.
Didn't we talk about it? We said
we've talked.
What park would you like to go?
Correct. I would like to go.
You said medieval times, didn't you?
Yeah, I'd like to go. I would probably do the samurai one, but I'd like the medieval more because you could just go. I mean, you could be a night, go drink beer, watch people joust. You could joust.
Can you drink beer? Was it beer? Was it beer or was it like honey something?
Yeah, they had ale back there, and then they had what is that shit called?
Honey something. Honey ale.
It's M. It starts with an M. What is that called?
I don't know. But yeah, that's. I think
it's gonna drive me nuts.
That's
why we look up what the
what
booze was. Please keep your hands inside the vehicle at all times. If you don't, you will get it ate off by a T-Rex. Hey, you're live on Two Ordinary Nerds. Is this Brittany? Well, let me tell you what you won. Actually, we just need to know, what's that fucking crap everyone drinks at Renaissance Festival? Mead.
That's it.
Thank you. We were talking about that, about the different parks in Westworld, so we just wanted to... Thanks for your help! Yeah. Okay, so... we're back. I would say mead.
Yeah, I thought it was like something like that.
But yeah, they also had ale back then, and obviously rum and stuff like that, but...
So I don't know. We need to rewatch or re-listen to our show. But I think I said that samurais. Did I mention samurais in my?
Yeah, because that was in the show. They actually showed them samurais training.
Like, remember when they first talked about it? Like, what type of place would you like to go? And you said you like to go to medieval. I thought I said Japan.
You did say Japan.
So I think it's kind of funny. Like,
I don't think I'd want to go to a future one because I'm just like,
Nah.
It's not.
I think that would be also cool if they had like a prehistoric one. Like for the survival nuts, like people that actually, you know how you seen the videos, like people like Naked and Afraid and all those stuff. There is an audience. I'm not saying for us, but I'm saying there could be an audience for like, hey, you're dropping me out of fucking nowhere with sticks and stones and survive.
If there was a park in the folklore for that, I don't think that they would ever show that because that would just be taking away from Jurassic Park. Because Jurassic Park.
I guess not Jurassic Park era. I'm saying Neanderthals and the rest.
Okay.
Like you basically get a stick and a stone. And guess your clothing is like you get the Flintstones outfit and you let go and you're like, oh, we need to hunt that antelope over here, and then let me make me arrows, and you make arrows and you go there. I'm just saying it would be something that I think it will be available.
I think my biggest reason why I would like to do, and I said this in the podcast when we first talked about it a couple episodes ago, but I think it'd be awesome to be part of a castle siege.
Oh yeah,
it'd be so cool to be like being attacked on or be part of the people sieging a castle.
Yeah, but I'm just throwing ideas here. It's not to destroy, but how would they deal with the rocks? You know how you throw rocks in the wall? How can they not hurt somebody? Because you
get shot in the show.
But it doesn't kill you. A rock falling from the sky will kill you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they would do that, but it's the same with a samurai. If you're going to go into a samurai environment, how are they not going to kill you with the?
They stop. They can't. They can swing, but they have to stop before hit, when they hit.
Or it's a blunt blade.
Something like that. Well, I was thinking about the arrows too. Like they had arrows, but he would like. I have to say that what is his name? The black suit of the black man. Is it black man?
The man in the black.
Man in black.
William.
When William went from being all scared and blah 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 to fucking badass.
Yeah, he went like that. I was like, oh yeah.
When he was carrying his brother-in-law naked.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's gonna be an awkward fucking Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's my other thing is like, does he live there, or did he just say fuck it and I'm just gonna live here the rest of my life?
No, he bought it.
Oh, I know he bought it. But...
Yes, no, but when he was saying about his wife, how his wife died, and he has to go back to the real world. And I think now that his wife died, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna find the fucking center of the maze. And it was such a great episode when they say it's not for you. And we always thinking, well, I guess that's another part of the trick, but it really wasn't for him.
Mm-hmm.
This part
was meant for Dolores,
and for the rest of the other,
Well, the center of it was for Dolores. Mm-hmm. They did say that because Arnold set it up for her. He's like, when the time comes, it's
So I think it was a great show that they, it's like it takes a whole entire season to just know what it's about. It's not like Game of Thrones, or it's not like other shows that you don't. There's other, it's just, but you know what's it about. There's White Walkers, and there's the humans, and the humans fight each other when they're not realizing the White Walkers are fucking coming.
Did you see in the? I'm not sure if you saw it. I just saw it on the HBO deal on Facebook.
The little trailer thing, mini trailers.
Yeah, and they showed thrones, and they showed Arya on the back of a horse in Stark armor, basically. Mm-hmm. It looked like Stark armor. I'm not sure, but she was on the back of a horse, and I'm fairly certain she was wearing Stark colors. I mean, she was all in black, and unless she went to the wall, but that wouldn't make any sense.
I think she... Well, we can go back to it later.
Yeah.
I think we should stick with Westworld. I mean, what was your favorite part of the season? Favorite part, favorite actor, the thing that you enjoyed the most, maybe the story?
Maeve is definitely my favorite. I like it when she started to find out that she can manipulate the people.
Was she her? That's the thing. I think it was...
I like to think it was her. I mean, obviously, Arnold had something in her.
I don't think it was Arnold. I think it really was Anthony Hopkins all the time. Anthony Hopkins planned everything. That was my favorite part. Anthony Hopkins' performance was. After that, I will say the story, but I think Maeve was one of them that I wasn't ever a big fan of her, and now I was surprised. I was like, holy shit, that changes everything.
She was awesome. I really liked, Ed Harris. His character is awesome. He just had an intriguing storyline. I liked when William and Dolores were out when they got rid of his friend and they were running away on the train and like just kind of gallivanting around. I like that.
Yeah, I like the progression of William. It was nice to see that. I think it was a great show. I mean, it's one of those like. The storytelling was good. The acting was good.
Saloon music was awesome because if you listen to the saloon music, it's pre-recorded, but they're actual songs from nowadays. Like they played them.
So they were classics for that age?
Well, they're classics now. Oh, okay. I see what you did there. Yeah, okay.
Because this is the future.
Yeah, but they were like House of the Rising Sun was in there.
Yeah, like Star.
Black Hole Sun.
Star Trek, the new movie of Star Trek, when they were like, oh, let's put some classic music, and they put when they're destroying the minions, and they have to put like classical music so they can't hear and talk to each other. So.
Really?
I didn't. Have you seen the newest Star Trek? You know when they destroy all the.
Okay.
Cities, like,
You're talking about Beastie Boys when they're listening. Yeah, okay.
When they put the classical music and it's like not for us it's contemporary, but for them it's classical. I think it's the same way. Like, how funny it would be if they actually thought that was the Western.
Yeah.
But that's all. Radiohead.
God, yeah. I would give at least for sure the last episode was getting 5 beers. I mean that is just.
I'm not
5 beers and I'm going to drink all 5.
It bothered me so much, the reload. It bothered me so much. I think that's the only hiccup that I saw in that show was their reloading times. I thought like for sure they would realize that if they're Western times, it was harder to reload. It's not, you can't shoot unlimited bullets.
Here's something else. Okay, so yes, they all have free control now and they can shoot and kill humans. That being said, they are basically just humans. So if they get shot in the head, they're down. They have to be repaired. So if they're not getting repaired, then it should be there's only so many of them. You think
they're stronger and more resistant.
True.
Because Dolores beat the shit out of William in 2 seconds. He beat the living shit out of him.
He broke his arm.
Yeah. Like in seconds. Like broken. He's supposed to be a badass. Supposedly.
Yeah.
But I mean, nobody fought against him, so I'm not really sure how good he really is. Now that the robot, because technically a robot wouldn't miss, would he?
You would think that they wouldn't be able to miss because, well...
Or be hard for them, they will point, aim, and calculate faster than we could.
Yeah.
But I think
I can't wait for the second season.
I'm not sure what it's going to be about.
They said that with this season, it brought... What did they say? They said it brought intelligence or something to the show. I can't remember. They said next season is just going to be pure chaos. So,
I hope they go the same way. Like, I'm not sure where they're going to head up. Like, there's so many options. Like, will they show us different worlds and how they're going to go chaos, or are the humans going to get the other robots, program them, and say you need to go there and fight? So there's going to be the cowboy versus the
samurai. That'd be so cool.
Because I wouldn't understand why would they show us that. The samurais. It shows like there's different parks, there's different things.
They're showing the park for a reason. Showing those characters. Because they said, Maeve was like, what's the deal with that? And the guy who was her helper or whatever, the human, was like, oh, it's complicated.
Mm-hmm. There's more worlds. So there's a West world. I guess there will be a samurai world. They have to give us a Renaissance world. Like, I mean, if they don't show like... It'll be fun, like, to be like a knight and show, like, my lady. And they're like, you know what I mean? And then it's like the Dolores will pull off a gun and blah.
Yeah. It's just like, it reminds me of Army of Darkness. Say hello to my boomstick.
Mm-hmm. I just hope it continues being, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be as good as the Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. I hope they do way more than just, like, 2 seasons. I hope this goes on for a while because this show is just so fucking good.
Well, HBO's they're barely making any show that lasts only 2 seasons. I think
unless they're predetermined to be that short.
Yeah,
like the high school vice principal show.
It's only 2 seasons.
It's only 2 seasons because that's the story that they created, and they were like, "This is what we want. We just want 2 seasons."
I mean, normally they I think in those micro seasons or micro shows, it's still they give you a heads up. This it's not gonna be a very long. This one I feel like they spend a shit ton of money and they need a replacement for Game of Thrones.
I think that too. I think they were fishing for something that's going to take its place, and obviously Thrones it's going to be out.
They got one more season, one more season.
Two seasons.
This one coming out and one more.
They have season 7 and season 8,
and then it's gone. And then I'm gonna hit me in the chin because I'm gonna want all 8 Blu-rays together in one nice little set.
I don't have to worry about that because I have every season. Well, I need to buy the newest.
But you know what I mean, when they have it all collected, like the nice collector editions.
Yeah.
And you're like, that looks so cool, but what would I spend so much money on something I already have?
Yeah.
Like normally they're not cheap.
All right.
I think you're gonna talk about the Harry Potter.
Yeah, I'm just gonna touch on it. It was a good movie. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It was good. The best part of the movie was the creatures and.
So what's it about?
It's about a guy who is coming over to. He has a specific animal. I don't want to give away what it is, but he has a specific animal that he's trying to bring back over to the United States.
So it happens in United Kingdom? Is the story?
No, it's in New York.
Okay.
It takes place in New York around in the 20s. And basically there's there's people that are against witches because they think that witches are real, but then there's people that are...
Like humans think that witches are real, or there's witches?
There's humans...
Wizards that think that witches are real.
No, the humans think that... There's some humans that think witches and wizards are real, but they're considered crazy people.
I can imagine the 1920s people will think they're cuckoo.
And then, of course, throughout the movie, they find out that wizards are real. And
so humans in the Harry Potter know that wizards are real?
No.
Okay.
They find out, but they don't remember.
Oh, so there's like...
It's like... it's just like... Yeah,
we forgot! So the kid creates a tension. They find out. Well, at the end, there's going to be a magical poof poof.
The main story about it is before Voldemort, there was a main villain that's in the folklore of Harry Potter, and in the book, Dumbledore and his brother defeat this villain, and that's basically.
So is Dumbledore the...
Fantastic Beasts is kind of about the beast, but it's more so there's an underlying story that's an overall big picture because this is going to be like 5 movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is the main actor Dumbledore?
No. They don't show Dumbledore.
Huh.
But they talk about...
Who's the main villain in this show, in this movie? Well, villain is...
Well, I can't say, because if I say it, then it's going to spoil for everyone who hasn't seen it. It's not a spoiler cast. I can't say.
Okay. So
they don't say who's the villain until you get further into it.
So as much as I get in the trailer, there's beasts that are escaped the magical realm, and he has to go and catch them.
No.
So what's the point of the movie? What's the movie like? What's the main story? Like basic. There's this guy, and there's magical beast.
He has a beast that he's bringing over from England that he's releasing into Arizona. But in the process of that, some of his magical creatures kind of escape, and then in the process of his creatures escaping, he gets blamed for the murder of a Muggle, which is a human.
Uh-huh.
He gets blamed for that, almost gets killed, and then there's...
So basically the main story is he has a bunch of creatures in, I think it's a suitcase?
Yeah, it's a suitcase.
And they escape, and he's trying to get them back before the customer show.
Mm-hmm.
And they accuse him of murder.
Correct.
And then you have to figure out who killed the guy. At the same time, he's gonna get his.
Yeah, there's just a lot. I mean, without spoiling it, because there's a lot in the story that I can't talk about because it's.
Will you recommend people to watch it?
It was fun.
Is it a movie theater?
I'd definitely go see it in the theater. It was super awesome. I would give that movie. I would definitely give it a 4 at least. It was a good movie.
Do you like it better or worse than the Harry Potter movies?
They're 2 different stories. I mean, it's the same kind of folklore, but they're 2 different.
Is more mature this one? Is it still for a kids, Harry Potter kids age, or is it a bit more complex? So a more teenage adult will enjoy
it's
it better?
The same.
Alright.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like Harry Potter 1 Kitty, but I wouldn't say it's Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Okay.
I would say it's in between. Well, I would say more so, I would say teenager. I mean, kids can go see it too, but they wouldn't understand it.
Alright, so
It's more so for the Harry Potter fan that actually knows
what's going on.
Yeah.
So they can have an idea when they talk about Voldemort, you need to know Voldemort.
Well, they don't talk about him. He's not alive yet.
Oh, I guess that's true. But they want
to
talk
about Dumbledore. They talk about the different wizard schools, and there's a lot of Easter eggs that you have to pay attention to.
And would you recommend watching the Harry Potter movies before it comes out, or you don't have to?
If you haven't ever seen Harry Potter movies, watch it first.
But if you have, you don't need to have a refresh of all the Harry Potter?
No. I haven't seen them in a couple of years, and I still knew.
Alright, that's what I'm saying. So you said 4 beers?
Yeah, it was good.
4 beers and watch it in the movies?
Yeah.
Any news on the Daily Bugle?
Yeah, they released the trailer for the new Transformers movie that looks pretty. I mean, it looks pretty neat.
I'm done. I'm done with Transformers.
What's not going to hurt anybody to go see it?
I'm not going to go watch it. Are you going to go to the movies to see it?
Maybe. It looks pretty good.
I'm excited for the Guardians of the Galaxy one.
Guardians of the Galaxy trailer came out that looked pretty awesome with more Baby Groot.
I think it's just that Baby Groot he lost some mental capacities. He doesn't understand the point of the button.
Yeah.
And I think it's showing regrets.
Because Groot has always been... I mean, Groot was smart, but he still wasn't
But I mean, he understood commands. This one, they're basically saying, don't touch this. This? No.
Yeah, but he's kind of oblivious, because in the first one, he's sitting there and they're all creating a plan, and instead of him listening to the plan, he walks over and takes the security panel off of the security center, and then they're like, oh, well, shit, we gotta start this now.
I got it. I saw it more as it also, not only did it make him smaller, but it made him, I don't want to say dumber, but it's made him had a mentality of Baby Groot.
Yeah.
Not he is, I just say he's more immature.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's how I saw it, but I mean, it looked great. It looked fun. I know it broke records after Beauty and the Beast. It's the second, and the one with Marvel biggest. It beat Civil War.
No, it's the second most watched trailer ever.
Yeah, and I mean, after I think number 1 is Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
Then it's this, but it said so that means it beat Civil War. It beat all the X-Men. It beat all of the Captain Americas, all the Iron Mans. That's impressive.
Because everybody loved that movie because it's the best Marvel movie.
I was listening to saying how important the music is, and how the trailer, the director realized that how there's now people that break scene by scene and try to get Easter eggs to find it. So he basically had to pay very good attention to what he's gonna let you see, because he didn't want to spoil anything.
Oh yeah.
Because if they show something that maybe, you think the director doesn't realize what it's showing, but somebody's like, oh, look at that. In the background, that's so-and-so. So so-and-so confirmed. And that was supposed to be a secret.
James Gunn's really good about doing all that.
Yeah. It's normally trailers are done by a different company, not by the...
I'm really excited about, they released they remade the Mummy movie. But
Cruise?
Yeah, but the exciting part about this movie is it's back to the roots of back when the first
Mummy was good. The first Mummy was good.
Well, yeah, but this is back to the 20s when they had the first cinematic universe of Dracula and the Mummy and Frankenstein all being together, Van Helsing, everybody. This movie, they show Russell Crowe in there. Russell Crowe plays Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
So it's not about the movie, Mummy, the back of the old mummies? That's what I thought it was about. I thought it was a remake of the old mummies.
The remake... Brendan Fraser's Mummy was a remake of the old Mummy. It was just a different twist on it. This is kind of a different twist, but they're going back to the roots of...
But it has nothing to do with the Mummy, with the King,
they just got
Scorpion King. It's a Mummy movie. It's not... Yeah. I thought it was a remake of the classical fun... No, it's not the funny...
that one's not a classic. That one is a remake. The Brendan Fraser one is a remake
of a Mummy movie, but it's not it's not the Mummy movie.
This is the Mummy. Like this, they had the original Mummy movie that was in the 30s, and this is a remake.
Okay,
of that.
I thought it was a remake with a comedy. I thought it was gonna be like a comedian, like, oh, there's cats are afraid of, mummies are afraid of cats.
This is a remake of the whole universe that they have. Like Johnny Depp's playing the Invisible Man, and
oh really?
Yeah.
So is this the first movie, or is this Dracula Untold the first one?
No, they said that one's not going to be part of it either.
So they cut that off because I knew they were going to try to do something.
We thought that I read an article on IGN that stated that they were going to be, that one was originally going to be part of it, but they think that they're just going to scuttle it and just do something different.
So they're gonna have different monsters show up all the time.
Yep, Van Helsing's going to be in there.
Van Helsing? Nah.
It's not going to be from that movie, Van Helsing.
No, I like that movie. It's just, I want to think Van Helsing the monsters. I want to see the Swamp Thing. I want to see Werewolf. I want to see Mummy, and I want to see Frankenstein and the Invisible Man. I want to see those ones. I don't put Van Helsing in the same world.
Well, Van Helsing has to be in that world because that's his job is to hunt those characters.
But you know how
he's the protagonist.
But you know the Swamp is it Swamp Thing?
Mm-hmm.
There was no Van Helsing there. And Werewolf, there was Van Helsing. It's I get it with it will be an easy way to connect it, but I think if I think of classical 1920s,
it's like 20s and 30s.
I don't think Van Helsing. I think the Mummy, the Werewolf. What's a werewolf? If a werewolf, a Wolfman. What's it called?
It's the wolf. The wolf.
The Wolfman's man.
I think so.
So there's the Wolfman, the Mummy, Frankenstein, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing's one of my favorites of the 1920s.
Those stories weren't as in depth as this will be.
But I mean,
Van Helsing has always been in the lore of vampires and Dr. Jekyll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Dr. Jekyll, when he goes into Mr. Hyde, he kills people, like hundreds of people. He's a serial killer.
Yeah, but I didn't think that Van Helsing in the original story shows up.
Not in the original story, but that they're based off of books.
Yeah, but Van Helsing has nothing to do with vampires. That's the main story of Van Helsing. They just adding him as a hero.
He's a monster hunter. He's basically the Winchesters.
Mm-hmm. So they're gonna add him. Huh, that's fun. I mean, I thought it was a remake of the comedy Mummy.
No.
So when I saw the trailer, I was like, well, that doesn't look like too much fun.
I love the first two. I love those mummies, the Mummy 1 and the Mummy Returns.
What happened to that actor? He just fucking disappeared.
He fell off the face of the planet. He does shitty movies. I don't know. Yeah.
He's Canadian, isn't he?
I don't know what he is.
But I remember that movie. The first one was him and this hot chick. What was it? And
Bedazzled? Yeah.
And the guy who was the Mummy? The Mummy was a famous guy, wasn't he?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what his name was.
But I mean, it's fun. Anything else?
Yeah, not if anyone cares, but they released Red Dead Redemption on PlayStation today. They re-released it, but the issue is that they have like this streaming service on PlayStation. It's called PS Now, and you can play it on PC also. But it's shitty because you have to pay $20 a month, and you can play it, and you can't download the game. You can't own it. So you have to pay monthly to have it. It's just, I'm not going to do that. If they had it for sale for $20 or $30, I would just buy it for myself. But I'm not going to pay them monthly to pay it.
That's to play Red Dead Redemption 2 or the...
One.
You have to pay $20 a month to play the first one.
Well, they have like this PS Now deal where they have a bunch of games on there that you can stream. It's like Netflix, but for video games.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of stupid.
Like... Anything else? No, I can't think of anything else.
Nah, it's kind of dead right now.
Yeah, I think it's... I mean, we're going to watch the Rogue Ones
and
next week?
Yeah, next Friday.
So, we have... Next week is we're going to talk about what we're excited about. After that is Rogue One. And a little bit of Star Wars. Yes. You know, what we like and what we don't like about the general Star Wars lore.
Yep.
And then we're going to be off for Christmas.
Well, yeah, we might be off the 2 weeks. What is that?
Yeah, we will be off on the 20th, and we will be off on the 27th. So we will be
sure the 27th will be off.
So we probably will come back on the
3rd.
On the 3rd. So
yeah.
Just keep up. Sorry for all this big gap. It's just we're a small team, so we don't have much time.
Yep.
So, thanks for hearing us. Yes, if you want to email us at twoordinarynerds@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter and on Facebook and maybe eventually YouTube.
Maybe. Cheers.
Bye. Cheers.